Welcome to Burnside Dynamics Overview of a DBA Doctoral Study. Keep in mind that the Doctor of Business Administration is looking at a business problem which will lead to your research question. We want to find out, leaders in an industry, they have a problem and it has an effect on the organization. Even though employees may have issues within the organization, what we are looking for are leaders and the things that they can do that can affect the organization and what that problem is. The problem itself must already be documented by peer-reviewed research or government statistics. This will be your hook and your anchor. How big is the problem? How widespread is the problem? What is the overall effect of the problem? Then we will determine if the research question contains measurements such as profit levels, or concepts such as strategies. What is it exactly that we want to know? What is the problem that the leaders have that they can make a change? Everything you will do in your research will revolve around the research question. Let's start with a sample. What marketing strategies do restaurant leaders use to increase sales? That question will determine which method we will use. Our research methods are qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods. We'll get into that momentarily. Once you choose which method is best to answer that research question or examine that research question, depending upon what you're doing, then we can look at the particular design. There are certain research designs that will apply to the specific methods. Then, once you've determined which design works the best to work with that research question, you will now determine what data to collect based on it. In this case, I'm looking for marketing strategies. Well, generally the best way to do that is to ask people, what are you using? However, I may also need to get some data from them as well. Maybe, do they have a list of marketing strategies? What's in their social media if that's what they're using? And then we will determine our data analysis techniques. That's going to be based on the type of data that we've collected. Now, we can't do a statistical analysis if we did not collect statistical data. And we won't be collecting statistical data if that is not what we're looking for in our research question. But in this case, we would be looking for data that contains text. So we would have to do data analysis that will analyze text into some type of format to report on. Also, the population of who has the answers to these research questions or who has worked with this, that will be determined from, again, a research question. We're looking for restaurant leaders, and of course in our research we're going to define exactly does that mean, what that means. Is that Jean-Claude that owns the large restaurant, or is that Joe's Trucking that's owning the food trucks? I don't know. You determine who those leaders are, and then we'll take a look at who actually knows about the marketing strategies or has implemented those marketing strategies, and those that are what we'll call successful because their sales have increased. And then the next element we need to deal with within our research is to make sure that it's reliable and valid. Now, these terms are going to be different whether you're using qualitative or quantitative. However, what we're talking about is to make sure that the things that you do within your research will make other people realize that, yes, we can rely on what it is you are doing. The data you collected is valid. The report that you have made from that data that you've collected and analyzed, we can rely on it. So in this case, I would probably do interviews. And with that, I would use what's called an interview protocol. I would ask every question in the same order to every participant to help with that. There are many techniques that you will use throughout your research to allow other people to rely on your data and your findings. So how do we go about doing this? To select the method and design, first we're going to start with our research question. And within that research question, we need to determine, are we looking for measurements of some sort or concepts? In this case, we're looking for concepts marketing strategies. We're not looking to measure the marketing strategies. We're looking to find out what exactly they are. What are they doing? So we're looking for concepts. That will lead us into which method we are going to use: quantitative, qualitative, or mixed methods. If we were using measurements, and that's what we're looking for, or comparisons, that will be quantitative. In this case, we're looking for concepts, which is qualitative. Now, if I wanted to know how much the various marketing strategies increased sales, that could be mixed methods. So I'd need to know what are the marketing strategies, which is a qualitative concept, and how much do they increase sales. That would be a quantitative measurement. Therefore, I could conduct a mixed methods. But that's not exactly what I'm looking for with this particular question. So we'll stick with simply qualitative. Within both quantitative and qualitative, they each have a list of different types of designs of research. Now, here are just a few examples. These are not exhaustive lists. On the quantitative side, if I was doing that, I might conduct a survey with a Likert scale, 1 through 5, and have people answer that way. Or I might conduct an experiment. On the qualitative side, I can choose a case study or an ethnography or a narrative. But because I want to know the marketing strategies that these various restaurant leaders use, I'm going to hone in on the restaurants and what they're doing. I will conduct a case study, and my case will be looking for, what are you doing? What are those marketing strategies that are being effective for you? Once I've determined that, then I need to select a framework. Because my question involved marketing strategies, I'm going to go out and take a look at various marketing theories. Once again, you start with your research question. If you are conducting quantitative research, your framework will be a theoretical framework. If you are doing a qualitative research study, your framework will be a conceptual framework. So in this case, we will conduct a conceptual framework based on a marketing theory. This is not creative writing. We must align all of our words throughout our entire research, from the business problem through to the purpose of the study and the research question. How we're going to align it is we will use the exact same terms for the who, what, and why. So our business problem is that some restaurant leaders do not know which marketing strategies to use to increase sales. Might be along the lines somewhere in there. Our purpose of this study is to explore the marketing strategies restaurant leaders use to increase sales. Therefore, our research question will be, again, something along the lines of, what marketing strategies do restaurant leaders use to increase sales? So the who, what, and why will be the same throughout the entire document, but the wording around them might be slightly different. But we must align our business problem to the purpose of the study to our research question. We need to define our population sample. Again, who, what, and why. We're going to start there. Here's the whole industry of restaurant leaders. Okay, we are looking at restaurants, and you know as well as I do, that can be large chains, all the way to little mom and pop shops, to boutique type restaurants, to specialty restaurants, to food trucks. So that's a big industry, but we need to narrow it down into our population. We are going to talk to restaurant leaders. Well, who are those leaders that actually use marketing strategies to increase their sales? So if I have somebody that's just absolutely floundering and maybe they don't do any marketing at all, well, they're not part of my population. I need to find those people that are leaders in a restaurant that use various marketing strategies and their sales increase. Within that whole population, I can't interview everybody, so I'm going to take a sample within that population. It might be within a geographic location. It might be, as I said, some food trucks, or it might be a big restaurant, various chain restaurants, and I might go from location to location. but they need to be a sample, a small part of that entire population is who I will actually get the opportunity to speak with. But they need to be a good representation of the entire population that does qualify for this study. How do we collect our data? Again, we start with our research question, and we add in the framework. That will help us frame out our interview questions. How do we ask the questions? What questions do we actually ask about? And then we might also collect documents. So because we're looking at marketing strategies, I might not only interview and ask about their strategies and how they implement their strategies and what strategies work the best, I might also actually go take a look at some of their documents. Maybe they're telling me they use social media. Okay, let's go look at the social media. Maybe they tell us that they really pay attention to their Yelp reviews. Okay, let's go take a look at their Yelp reviews. They use picture boards, picture menus. Great, let's take a look at those as well and have all of that data to collect to be able to analyze. That is our quick overview of the DBA research process. Thank you for viewing.